What's up everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today's video, we're going over the top 5 pros and cons of living in Monmouth County. If this is your first time to the channel, my name is Steve McCutcheon. I'm a realtor associate with Berkshire Hathaway, located over in Manalapan. And on the Live in Central New Jersey channel, we cover everything real estate related for the Central Jersey area. So if you want to be the first one to know everything that's going on in Monmouth and Ocean County real estate, hit the bell, subscribe to the channel, and let's get this thing started. Kicking it off with the very first pro about living in Monmouth County has got to be the location and proximity. It is the first county in terms of where the Jersey Shore begins, and we're also located directly in the middle of New Jersey. You can pretty much get wherever you need to be within about an hour or an hour and a half. This makes it great if you want to take a day trip with your friends or family, either to the beach or go for a hike. But what a lot of people love about Monmouth County is actually its commutability into New York City. There's no denying that New York City has very high salaries and people love to work there for the money, but not necessarily everybody wants to raise a family in Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn, or wherever it might be. When you move to Monmouth County, you can still commute to New York City for your work, but you can raise a family in a much nicer area. You have more space, a bigger house, and just overall better quality of life. And last thing about commuting to the city is going to be how you actually get there. So there's a couple different options that you can take. The first and most obvious is if you need your own vehicle, you're going to just drive yourself in and out of the city, pick which route you want based on where you live and what's the easiest for you. You could, if you don't need your vehicle but don't want to take mass transit, you can carpool with a coworker. And if you don't mind taking transit, there's two or three different options you could take realistically. First will be either the train or the bus stop. And for each of these, wherever you get on for your stop, a lot of parking lots in the area will sell you a parking permit, so you can go park your vehicle there, so you can drive to there and then hop on either the bus or the train from your location. And then the last one will be going actually taking a ferry. So if you go all the way up to, if you live more in like the northeastern section of Monmouth County, you can go up to the Keensburg, Middletown, Atlantic Highlands area, and they have a ferry that goes up there. There's also supposed to be one coming to South Amboy, which is located in Middlesex County, but you pretty much have to drive right past if you're going into the city anyway. So they might be getting a ferry as well, and that could be another option. Moving on to pro number 2, which is probably my personal favorite, and that's got to be the Jersey Shore. No, we are not talking about the TV show. We're talking about the 141 miles of coastline that New Jersey has, all the way from Monmouth County down to Cape May. So Monmouth County starts it off, like I mentioned before, and it starts at the Sandy Hook and goes all the way down to Manasquan just for Monmouth County alone, but again, it extends all the way down to Cape May. So there's hundreds of miles of coastline that you can enjoy, and each town is going to give you kind of a different feel to it. And just to give you an idea of how popular New Jersey is, in 2021, which was less than a year removed from COVID, we had about 97 million tourists and visitors come to the state. And for already being a very densely populated state, I think the most in the United States, it obviously does bring a huge crowd, and people love the shore towns. Some people rent a home for the entire summer, some for just a week, maybe even just a weekend, but we bring in a lot of traffic that way. The boardwalks, the beaches, everyone loves it. Kicking us off with pro number 3, it's gotta be the school systems and education in Monmouth County. So it boasts a lot of good public schools, but there also are some private options as well. If you're looking more for the public school education, the good one is the Freehold Regional School District, where you have Manalapan, Marlborough, Freehold Township, Freehold Borough, Howell, or Colts Neck. A little bit of a pro tip with that one is if you live in any of those regions, your child can actually attend any of those high schools because each of them specialize in a special program, and then they can apply for that and they'll still get public busing as well. On the private side, 2 of the better well-known ones are going to be Christian Brothers Academy, also known as CBA, located in Lincroft, and the Rainey School, which does have a very high tuition, but plenty of great things that go along with it, especially athletics. Once you get into higher education, there are 2 main options that a lot of people can attend in Monmouth County. You have Brookdale Community College, which you can get your associates, but they also partner with Rutgers now, which is the State College of New Jersey, and you can get a 4-year degree that says Rutgers at Brookdale, so you don't have to worry about the 4-year tuition, room and board, all that kind of stuff. And then the other option is going to be Monmouth University, located in West Long Branch, and it's a nice area close to the beach, but the tuition, being a private school, is going to be very expensive, so just be a heads up on that. Moving on to pro number 4 is going to be the recreational and outdoor activities. New Jersey is the Garden State for a reason, and although people fly into maybe Newark and don't really recognize that right away because it's a lot different, we have plenty of different parks in the area, especially in Monmouth County. You have Turkey Swamp Park, located over in Freehold, good for camping and hiking. Homedale Park, another good hiking spot. And if you're looking for one more trail you can go to, Chesapeake Park, which is technically in Middlesex, but parts of it do go in the Matawan, which is Monmouth County, so we'll take that for right now. There's also good water sports action that you can have. You can go surfing down by the shore. We've already mentioned that kind of stuff. You can hold your boat throughout the entire year at some of these locations. You can go offshore fishing, hang out in one of the bays or coves, and just kind of with a bunch of other people. And if you're not into maybe the outdoorsy stuff, you have different options as well. You can go hit the golf course. There's plenty of different county parks located in Monmouth. 2 of my favorite will be the Charleston Springs Golf Course, and if you want to go more private, over in Tinton Falls, you got Jumping Brook Country Club, which is an excellent course to play as well. Last but not least, if you want to catch a concert, you got the Stone Pony over in Asbury Park, which hosts a lot of great bands. But also, probably the biggest venue you're gonna have here is going to be PNC, located over in Homedale. It's right off the Parkway, so be careful during the summer. You might hit a lot of shore traffic going up and down, so especially on like a Sunday or a Friday. Just be aware of that. But they host plenty of different and big names. I've seen Luke Bryant there, Thomas Rhett, a bunch of different guys. Last but not least, you have the 5th pro about living in Monmouth County, and that's just going to be your overall quality of life. Now this one, you can pretty much just combine the first 4 points, but I don't want to get, harp on them too much more. So on top of being able to commute and raise a family in a great area, you have the Jersey Shore, like we mentioned, recreational activities outdoors, and good school systems. You also have a great variety of restaurants to eat from, right? So you have high upscale places like over in Red Bank. You can go to your local dive bar or pub. Anywhere you go, you'll probably be able to find good pizza, which is awesome, a good bagel, or just sandwich shop in general. Nothing is pretty much missing in Monmouth County. You have a little bit of everything that you could possibly want. Now, since we've covered the top 5 pros about living in Monmouth County, let's go over some of the cons. I know there has to be some, I don't believe it, but there are. Anyway, first one is going to be the cost of living. So that one I definitely can't deny. New Jersey is a very expensive place to live in general. While it is cheaper than New York, like I mentioned before, New Jersey is still one of the more costly states in the US to live. And Monmouth County is going to be no exception to that rule. A lot of the time, you're gonna see a lot of higher home prices and property taxes, but just remember this, your property taxes, pretty much about half of them go towards the school system. So anytime you do see good school systems, you're gonna have to deal with higher property taxes. It just kind of comes with the territory in general. But yes, Monmouth County is going to have a high cost of living. Then you have con number 2, which is probably my least favorite part about living in New Jersey, and that's going to be the traffic congestion. I mentioned before that New Jersey is the most densely populated state, and it comes with the territory. There's nothing else you can really do about it. If you're commuting to New York City and you're taking your car, you're taking the bus, just be ready for some backups or delays. There's typically gonna be an accident or 2 every morning. If you're on the Route 9 side, there's plenty of lights, so you're gonna have to go light to light. Hopefully you catch the right side of them where you're not hitting any of them, but if you are, just be ready for that. If you're on the Parkway side of things, you are going to hit some traffic that way, even though there's 4 to 5 lanes at a time. An express route and some exit routes. There's just so many cars, such a high volume of people that you are going to hit it here and there. A little bit of a pro tip, I kind of mentioned it before when it came to the concerts in Homedale, but during the summer, so let's just say from Memorial Day to Labor Day, a big thing you want to avoid is going to be the Parkway on Friday afternoons when people are coming down to the shore, and then Sunday afternoons when they're going back home. Those two sides, so on Fridays, you want to avoid coming south, and on Sundays, you want to avoid going north. It's just absolutely brutal. It's just nonstop bumper to bumper traffic for a very long time. Personally, I don't know how many people do it. I guess it's just kind of the beauty of living in New Jersey already and not having to deal with that, but a little bit of a pro tip and just be ready for it. Moving on to the con number 3 about living in Monmouth County, and that's actually gonna be the limited public transportation. Now, I know I kind of mentioned before that with commuting, we have a bunch of it, and that is true, right? We can get to New York City or Philadelphia pretty easily, but I'm talking about moving throughout Monmouth County. So if you want to go from maybe Freehold or Millstone, which is kind of in like the southwest section, and you want to go all the way up to the Atlantic Highlands area or Middletown area, which is in the northeast, there's really no good way to get there other than driving yourselves. Now, yes, obviously we have plenty of Ubers or Lyft, different companies like that you could take in order to get there, but after an entire month of that, your public transportation bill would be so high, it's just really not worth it. So if you're gonna live in New Jersey or live in Monmouth County specifically, highly would recommend getting a car. Otherwise, you're gonna have a very tough time living there or moving throughout the county. Then you have con number 4 of living in Monmouth County, New Jersey, and that's going to be the seasonal crowds. I don't wanna harp on that too much because we already kind of touched upon it recently, but pretty much from the end of May up until early September, you're going to see a larger than normal population for people that are taking their vacation rentals for the week or the month or the whole summer, whatever it might be. So just expect traffic jams, all that kind of stuff. I will say though, the perfect thing about living in New Jersey though is actually something that we call local summer, and that's when all the people leave for the season, and that's pretty much right after Labor Day. So then from Labor Day on to whenever it gets a little colder out, we pretty much call it local summer. All different festivals, activities, and stuff to do. You can still go to the beach while it's warm out, all that kind of stuff. So that's probably the most ideal time. Everything's a lot more empty and a lot more chill of a vibe. With the 5th and very last con of living in New Jersey, it's just going to be the extreme weather habits that we have here. So if you live in New Jersey or if you're thinking about living there, make sure you enjoy all 4 seasons, summer, winter, spring, and fall, because we deal with them all the entire year. And sometimes honestly, in one single day you can maybe experience 2, 3, or all 4 seasons. It's just the way New Jersey is. It's kind of nutty sometimes, and it's just something we have to deal with. So in the wintertime, our conditions, some weeks we can even get down below 0. In the summertime, especially like July or August, we might be looking at temperatures over 100. So it varies so greatly. The spring and fall time are absolutely beautiful though, especially when everything's blossoming in the spring, or the leaves are changing colors in the fall. But just be ready. I mean, we've had tornadoes in the past, even hurricanes. We haven't had one of them for a while. It's probably been about 8 or 10 years, but we do get those, especially in this coming this summer, fall time. And then, believe it or not, we even had one earthquake one time. But nor'easters are common, snowstorms. So if you're coming to New Jersey, be ready to experience that. That's going to do it for the top 5 pros and cons about living in Monmouth County. If you're thinking about moving to the Central Jersey area, feel free to give me a call, text, or email. All my contact information is in the description down below. Whether you're a month, 3 months, 6 months, or even a year out, that doesn't matter to me. Let's get you on the right plan. If you can, leave me a comment down below. I'd love to know what your favorite part about living in New Jersey is if you're already in the state, or what you think is going to be your favorite if you're moving there. With that, see you guys next video.